everyone, how are you doing today? I'm continuing to cook my way through the Mayberry cookbook, and believe it or not, this week I'm only going to do one recipe. I know it's crazy since I've been doing like 4 a day, so I'm a little relieved and excited because this recipe is real easy but looks really delicious. It is called Judd's broccoli cheese soup. There you go, and I'll read the instructions to you. It calls for 1 cup of water, 1 chicken bouillon cube, 1 10-ounce package of frozen chopped spinach, 1 medium carrot grated, 2 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, 2 cups of milk, 1 pound of processed American cheese cube, 1 10-ounce can of cream of chicken soup, 1 tablespoon minced onion flakes, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire, and salt and pepper to taste. So I'm going to substitute a few things. For a chicken bouillon cube, right now I'm out of my chicken base, but I have vegetable base that I'm going to add. So I'll do a little scoop of that. For the frozen broccoli, I'm just going to do fresh broccoli. And let's see what else. For milk, I'm going to do a little mixture of heavy cream and half and half. And for the processed American cheese, I'm using Sargento American cheese, but also a blend with sharp shredded cheddar. I think everything's going to be the same. I'm going to use a can of cream of chicken soup, so it won't, I'm not making everything from scratch like sometimes I do. So, all right, let's get started. This will probably be my last recipe before the new year, which is in a few days. And I'm excited to continue doing this in the new year of 2026. About a cup of boiling water, and then I add a little bit of this. Can't get it open. Oh my gosh, there we go. Cut a little spoonful of this veggie base. Okay. Sorry, I know banging the spoon's a little loud. I always forget about that. All right. So it says to put the 10 ounces of frozen broccoli, I did about 10 ounces of fresh broccoli, into this brothy water. But it also calls for 1 grated carrot. I have the grated carrot there at the bottom. I shredded it just with a regular cheese shredder. So we're going to dump that into the water, and I'm going to cover it with a lid. And we're going to let that steam for, I would do about 5 minutes. What does the recipe call for? Add it and cook according to broccoli package, but I don't have a broccoli package. So let's let this steam for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's take a look at our broccoli and carrots. I don't want to oversteam it to death that it's mushy. I just like it to be a little soft, but still keeping its color. Because if you cook, any vegetable too long, it starts to lose its color, and then it's not even that fun to look at when you're eating it. So I'm all about the visual appeal as well. So, and now the recipe instructions say to take the broccoli and the carrots out of the water. And then we have to reserve this water to add back in. So I'm going to, I want to dump it in this bowl. Okay, here's our liquid. Dump that. All right. Okay, let's see what's next. I think next we add butter. Okay. In a separate saucepan, melt the butter and slowly stir in the flour. So we're pretty much just making a roux. So how much butter do we need? 2 tablespoons. Right here, oh, look at that. Just the right amount of butter. I didn't have to cut a new stick. 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm doing unsalted. Doesn't matter if it's salted or unsalted. Okay, and then I have flour, just regular flour. I'm not going to do gluten-free today. So when you make a roux is always, a roux is a thickener for those of you who do not know about it, for soups and sauces and stews. And you always do I think it's equal parts butter to equal parts flour, or equal parts fat, because you can also substitute different fats like coconut oil or lard or bacon fat. So it's equal parts. So if you're going to have 2 tablespoons of butter, then you're going to do 2 tablespoons of flour. Okay. 1, 2. Then the easiest way to kind of maneuver this is to use a whisk. I mean, you can stir it with a spoon, but it just doesn't seem to incorporate as well. So I whisk it. And it starts to like create a paste. And since this is a very light colored soup, we're not going to cook the roux very long, because the longer you cook the roux, the darker it gets. And that's, like say you're making gumbo, that's darker. So you would cook the roux longer to give it a dark color, just because your stew's darker. But if you're doing a white light sauce or soup, you want to keep your roux light, so don't cook it for as long. Let's see what's next. Continue stirring while gradually adding the milk. It calls for 2 cups of milk. So I'm using 1 cup of half and half and 1 cup of heavy cream instead of milk, so it'll be extra super rich. So there's the half and half. And let's get that heavy cream out. Heavy cream. Okay. Heavy cream, I'm just eyeballing a cup. Okay. Can always add more later, right? I mean, it'll be okay. Okay, now we're going to continue to whisk and make sure to get all the chunks out. Chunks out. Let's see what else it says. Stir in the cheese, the soup, onion, Worcestershire sauce, salt, and pepper. So pretty much we're adding in the rest of the ingredients after this. Man, how easy. Okay. So I'm just going to keep whisking this mixture first before adding in the rest of the ingredients. And then I'm going to let it kind of come to a boil and thicken. Then we'll add that vegetable bouillon back in, the water that we boiled our vegetables in. Okay, it's looking good to me. I'm going to go ahead and slowly add in the broth liquid, a little at a time. Okay, there we go. Then I think I'll go ahead and add in the cream of chicken soup, 1 10-ounce can. I'm sure you could use, if you're vegetarian, you can substitute this for cream of mushroom, and it would be just as good. I always like to try to get as much out of the can as I can. Look at me making lame jokes. Out of the can as much as I can. Man, I should be a rapper. Okay. All right, I think that's the only justice I'm gonna do in that can. Okay, stirring that in. I think while that's mixing, I'll go ahead and add the Worcestershire, 1 tablespoon. I'll eyeball it. Okay, I'm sure if you don't like Worcestershire, you could probably use coconut aminos. I bet that would be pretty good too. So, and some salt. I'll start with a little bit and I'll add more if I need to, and pepper. Just because bouillon has salt and so does the cream of chicken soup. So I feel like you don't need too much extra salt. Okay. It's starting to thicken real nicely. Calls for like onion flakes. I'm gonna do this from Savory Spice Shop, granulated toasted onion powder. I don't have onion flakes, so I'm just gonna eyeball a tablespoon. I probably did a little less, but you know me, I love garlic, so I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic powder too. This isn't in a recipe, but sounds good. Sounds scrumptiddlyumptious. Okay, and then you know what else we have to add? We have to add our cheese. So here is my half Sargento American sliced cheese mixed with sharp shredded cheddar. Dump it all in. It says about a pound. I eyeballed it. I didn't really measure it to exactly 1 pound. Ooh, this looks so good. Bring it a little closer. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Delicious, cheesy goodness. This is not for the faint of heart. Most of the recipes in this book aren't. By the time I'm done with this cookbook, I'm probably going to have gained quite a few pounds. That's okay. That's what New Year's resolutions are for. I'll just get back in maybe the next cookbook I choose to cook through will be something healthier. Okay. All right, and I'm going to throw these veggies back in. And then I may thin this a little bit with water since I did use heavy cream because it's kind of thick, y'all. So, I mean, I like a thick soup, but this is like thick. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a little bit more heavy cream and a little bit of water in there. So it kind of resembles more of a milk consistency. Yay! Yay! And what else does it say to do? It just says, you know, I added everything and you cook over medium to low heat until the soup is your desired thickness. So that's it. And it serves about 6 to 8 people. Yum. Look at that. I'm going to let this simmer for about 5 minutes and then we'll put this in a bowl and have a little taste. Be right back. Hey everyone, I'm back with my broccoli cheddar soup from the Mayberry Cookbook. Judd's broccoli cheese soup is what it's called. And I've let this simmer for about 5 minutes and it is ready to dig in. Yum. For me, this is the perfect consistency. And you know what else I'm going to do to make this better? Add more cheese. Who says there could be too much cheese? Those people are just lame. Okay. Oh, I'm so ready to dig in. Yummy. Okay. This looks hot. I burned my tongue. Mm, mm. Wow. Yummy. I feel like a kid again. That's delicious. That's so comforting to my soul. Oh, this was fun. This was such an easy recipe. This week, I've just had such a busy month. And this week, since I'm only working about a couple days, I just look forward to focusing on simplicity and that less is more. So by choosing this one recipe this week, I'm honoring what I'm trying to do for myself. So, and just stepping back and relaxing more and just not worrying about much of anything. Thanks for joining me today and Happy New Year! Woo! I have a little sneak peek to tell you right now about something I'm going to do. I am going to offer 3 free meals to anybody in Colorado Springs area if you just like my YouTube page. So look out for my posts on Instagram and YouTube for a chance to win 3 free meals. I will put everyone's name who subscribes to my YouTube page. I will put your name in a drawing, and at the end of January, we will find out who wins 3 free meals delivered to your door. All right, thanks. Have a good week. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my page. Thanks!